welcome. This is your Mac Life for Wednesday, October the 2nd, the first Wednesday of October. Thank you guys very much for joining us here on the show. My name is Shawn.
And?
My name is Shawn.
Last name?
My name is Shawn.
What's your full name?
Who are you?
I am Alessandra.
Thank you. We did this in rehearsal. Why? No, I'm teasing. That's the CIG, folks. If you follow me on Twitter, you hear me talk about the CIG, the cute Italian girl. She's here.
Ciao a tutti, come va?
The hell is that?
It means, hi everybody, how are you?
Oh, in I'm going to assume Italian.
Yeah.
Because it didn't sound like French. Although you do speak French, do you?
Oui, je parle français.
Listen to you. Show
Hello,
off.
comment ça va?
Ça va bien? Et tu?
You speak French too?
That's it. Ça va bien et tu is all I know
And
in
what
French.
about your Italian? Is it improving?
Ciao.
Awesome.
Spaghetti. I used to know beer. What's beer?
Birra.
Birra. Yeah, that's easy. And I can point on a menu. That's
Okay,
pretty,
that's good.
red wine. Vino red. Vino, what's red?
Rosso.
Vino Rosso.
That's
So.
very important to know.
I think it's pretty much, dopo espresso.
Oh, yeah.
I can do that.
That's great.
Yeah, my Italian is very, very limited. Sorry about that.
Okay, we need to work on it because we just have a couple of weeks left before we leave. So
So we're still going, are we?
yeah,
All right.
and
all right,
I can translate for you, but I don't know. It would
Well, you
be
have
nice
to.
if you could
God.
say something.
It's going to be kids. It's going to be painful. I don't think we've talked about this yet. We mentioned the fact that we are going to Italy, not for the grand month-long tour we had planned, but we're going to go for a couple of weeks to see Alessandra's dad.
Yeah.
Now you boys out there know how traumatic it is meeting the father of your girlfriend. For every guy, that's hard on us. Meeting the father of your girlfriend and neither of you speak the same language is going to be even harder. It's not going to be any fun at all. I'm going to have to figure out the Italian words for "I'm sorry, sir." I'm sorry. I'm just going to be sorry. Just for the whole 2 weeks for there.
You just smile to him and everything will be fine.
Promise?
I promise.
Okay.
And he will be offering you his red wine.
Vino Rosa.
Yeah, the one he makes. So you
makes
just
his
say,
own
it's very good. Say, buono, buono. He will be happy.
He makes his own wine?
Yes, he does.
I already like him. I already like the man. On tonight's show, we're going to be talking to The Beard, Jim Dalrymple from The Loop at loopinsight.com. We're also going to be talking about, hand me that,
Which one?
the big one.
Too heavy for
Too
me.
heavy for you. Look at this. It's mine. All mine. My new Nikon D600. Thanks very much to Paul Friedman at lensprotogo.com for advising me wisely on which camera I should get. The D800, as he pointed out, was way too much camera for me. It's. I always tell folks, buy anything that you'll need in 2 years. So buy a laptop that's got more RAM. Buy a Mac Pro as opposed to an iMac. Buy a bigger, better camera. So this is the camera I can use right now and use very well. This is a great camera. The D800 is a better camera, but it's way more camera than I actually need. So talk about that a little bit later on the show. And we're going to have our very first, Alessandra is going to have her very first review of a product. She's already ready to do product reviews.
Am I?
What?
Am I?
Are you what?
Ready?
I have no idea. The audience will decide
Let's
whether
see.
you're ready.
Okay.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are because we won't mention the product yet, but I think it's stupid, and you like it.
Yeah, I love it, and I want to use it. I cannot wait for the moment I will use it.
I can't believe that you think this is a good product. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that, and the reason we're doing this is because the PR rep from this company badgered me to review the products. Well, screw you guys. I'll review it. I'll say it sucks. And at dinner last night, you said, no, it doesn't suck. It's cute. I was like, what? And I realized, like all reviews are a personal opinion about the product. And when Alessandra said that she thought the product might be useful, I thought, well, isn't it interesting that something I think is utterly useless, she thinks might be useful. So yeah, we'll talk about that from the two different viewpoints. Of course, I'll be right. She'll be wrong because she's new. What does she know? So we'll talk about that. We're also going to be. We tempted fate last night, didn't we? We actually went. Yesterday was the 1 month anniversary of this. The 1 month anniversary of our motorcycle accident. And I didn't think about it until too late. So we decided we were going to go for dinner for the first time in a month. We hadn't gone out to dinner, had a date night, and we just both been lying on the couch like this for like weeks on end. Weeks on end. And I'm not saying anything out of turn, but that's how Alessandra watches TV. She sits on the couch and just flops her head over.
Because I'm so tired all the time.
So we thought, let's get out of the house. We had a Groupon that was going to expire when we left Calgary. By the way, remember, next week's show will not be in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Next week's show will be, and I'll say this for the first time, next week's show is going to be at Sly's house. Because we're functionally homeless in Vancouver. We don't got a place to live yet in Vancouver. Now, Sly, don't worry. We're not coming to live with you.
Just for the show.
Just for the show. I did a Sly. Oh, what? I think. Yeah. We'll do this. We'll do the show next week at Sly's house. What do you mean? Hell no. Why not, Sly?
Oh, just for the show.
Just
we are not staying for the night.
We're not staying for the night. No, not staying for the night. So yeah, the next week's show will be in Vancouver, Canada. So we decided we're going to use this Groupon. So we went, and I realized later that this was the same restaurant we were headed to a month ago and got into the accident. That was kind of scary.
I was a bit nervous.
Were you?
Yeah. And I was driving around the block and couldn't find a parking spot.
Yeah.
It was probably for that.
A little stress, yeah. It was Sly says I don't get home till later. Yeah, that's right. That's right. For some freak reason, next Wednesday she's working late, so won't be doing it from Sly's house. So anyway, that was a little freaky. I think a little brave of us too. You know, it's the old get on the horse. In our case, it was get on the sushi.
But this time I was driving, so it was
worse,
more safe.
No.
We didn't have any accidents, so that means something.
All right. Okay. All right. From that point of view, yes, it was safer. But remember, she's Italian. You've heard of stories about how they drive.
I learned to drive like Canadians do now.
No, you don't drive like Canadian. You drive.
Not yet?
No, you drive like Miss Daisy. And I'm hoping you don't get that reference because.
Is it a bad thing?
If you do, you'll punch me.
Oh, okay. On your broken arm.
On my broken arm, exactly.
Okay.
And then to top it all off, we've been working our butts off. She has been working her butt off, moving us. We moved from Canmore, Alberta, here to Casa Chevalier for a few days. And you've been amazing in all the work that she's been putting in because, again, I can't do a heck of a lot with his arm. So, yes, she's been just moving boxes and picking stuff up and putting stuff down and loading trucks and unloading trucks. And it's just remarkable how this little tiny person, how strong she is.
And that's why I watch TV like this in the evening, because I'm a bit tired.
I thought vegetarians were like little spaghetti-armed wimps.
We are stronger than you because our digestion is easier. We don't have to digest the proteins from meat, so we are stronger.
What? That makes no sense. Why would you be stronger for... Maybe your stomach muscles will be stronger for digesting... Oh, God. We have these conversations all the time. I just want to bang my head against the table. This afternoon we're talking about the fear hormones. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's another
No, stop. Stop
reason.
right now. Stop right now. We're not about the damn fear hormone. We're going to...
You feel scared because you had some meat today.
No, what? No. I don't feel scared for eating meat. I like meat. I have no problem. You know what the best part of having a vegetarian girlfriend is? You don't got to share your sushi. Oh, my God. I could order whatever I wanted and eat all of it.
And then you eat some of mine.
Yes. I was so hungry I ate some of yours. But that's one of the best parts. One of the best public parts of having a vegetarian girlfriend. Going to a sushi restaurant and eating whatever you damn well felt like. You have no idea how good that felt. That in past relationships, and we won't name which one, I was forced to order things that she would eat too, because we had to split all of our food. We always had to go halvesies on our food, which was really freaking annoying. I'm going to order this. No, you can't order that. Why not? I don't like that. I'm not ordering it for you. But yeah, with Alessandra, I can order whatever I want.
You are a free man now.
I know. It's so wonderful. It's great. Thank you. Thank you very much for
You're
being
welcome.
a vegetarian. Now, Sherry says, I could never be a vegetarian again now that I know the magic of sushi. But I didn't realize that there's vegetarian sushi, which is what you had last night, well, wasn't it? Is it really sushi? I thought sushi was fish.
No, it's like that. It's rice inside the seaweed and
Yeah.
with everything inside. And you tried it and you liked it. So I had to stop you because you were eating it all.
No, I didn't. No, I wouldn't say I tried it and I liked it. I tried it because I was still hungry. And it prevented me from ordering another full plate of sushi. It prevented me from ordering another 20 pieces of sushi. But yeah, I always thought that sushi meant fish, but it doesn't. It means the style of preparation. So I ordered fish sushi, but she had vegetarian sushi. So yeah, you can be a vegetarian and still have sushi. I still would not give up the yummy taste of fish flesh. It's just too delicious. And one final bone to pick with the audience. Yes, you, the audience. The lady to my right here is quite upset with you. Quite upset. Nobody, hold it up. Nobody wanted her, what did you call it? Microphone.
Hard candy.
Yes, no, what did you personally call them?
Personal?
Presents.
Oh yeah, the present.
See, she's gotten-
Last time I was offering this present to the audience and asking to send a picture, and nobody did. So I feel hurt because nobody wants my present.
And
I
there's
took it personal.
and exactly. There's part of the problem is that you took it personally. You got emotional over the prizes. They're not presents. You're not giving them personally. The nice folks at Hard Candy Cases are giving them personally. So you think these are presents, and the audience doesn't want your presents.
I was so excited about it. I described it with all my heart, and I really liked it, especially the brown version. And it was very nice. And I expected hundreds of pictures sent to me, but not a single one.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I've been wondering for many hours.
You asked this afternoon, or you mentioned this afternoon, do you think it's because the audience doesn't like you?
Yeah, it might be the reason.
No.
They are rejecting me. Instead of telling me directly, they reject my present.
No, they're not doing that. Maybe it's because people already have cases for their iPhone 5 and iPhone 5S. Maybe it's because people don't like the hard candy cases. That's a possibility.
It's so cute.
I almost guarantee. No, I will guarantee it's not because they don't like you personally.
I hope it's not that.
It's not.
I don't know.
Folks in the IRC chat room, please tell Alessandra that you like her and it's not to take it personally. Otherwise, she'll cry. She cries so easily. She's so emotional. Freaking Italians. And then this afternoon, she got mad at a mouse. Why'd you get mad at the mice this afternoon?
Because he ate all my chocolate.
He didn't eat all the chocolate.
Well, he tried every different package, so I didn't know which one I had to keep, and I threw all them away. All my bag full of chocolate for the move.
So, and if you knew how important chocolate was to this young woman, you'd know how important, how crushed she was that mice were eating away at her chocolate.
Yeah, it was very bad. And I saw it. It was so cute, and I forgave him. But
You forgave him?
he ate all my chocolate.
Sherry, Dave D says, we love you, Alessandra. Sly says, taking it personally
you.
wears off after a few years. Is that how long it took, Sly? I didn't know. I had no idea you felt this way. I'm sorry, Sly. Don't take it personally. Okay, so later in the show, we'll be talking about the Nikon D600, my new camera. Woohoo! We'll also have Alessandra's very first review of a new product.
I do my best with that.
That she likes, I hate, so it'll be interesting to talk
It's
about
good to have two different opinions about stuff.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But up next, we're going to talk to our good friend Jim Dalrymple from The Loop at loopinsight.com. So stay tuned for that and much, much more. This is Your Mac Life. Welcome back, folks. This is Shawn King. I am here with our good friend Jim Dalrymple from The Loop at loopinsight.com. Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I can't hear Jim. I can't hear Jim. Oh, hang on, Jim. Sorry.
What are you doing to me?
I know. I'm doing the same thing I do to you every week, just to screw you up. Here, let me kill your music. There we go. Now you're back. How you doing?
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about You okay?
I'm okay.
Okay, sorry. I don't know if you've been following this story at all. I don't think many people are, but I think it's going to be, from a retail point of view, the biggest story in retail for the next 10 years. iBeacon. Does iBeacon mean anything to you, Jim?
10 years. That's a long time.
Well, the Apple retail stores have affected it for 10 years.
Yeah. Okay, what's the story?
Do you know about iBeacon?
Yes.
What do you know about iBeacon, and what are your opinions about iBeacon?
I think iBeacon is going to be huge.
Why?
Well, because it basically, you can ping an app or a phone, or the app or the phone can ping the beacon and tell you where you are.
Give the audience a little bit of a primer of your understanding of what iBeacon is.
I just did.
No. All right, fine. iBeacon is like indoor wireless and GPS combined in a very narrow field within probably about 10 feet of an iBeacon Wi-Fi hotspot. And this is going to be real interesting, folks, for say, things like museums. Imagine being able to walk up to a painting in a museum and there'll be an iBeacon above the painting that will then begin to broadcast to your iPhone and tell you about the painting, tell you about the artist, tell you about whether it be in a video format or an audio format or text on a website. But for retail, Jim, do you agree that's going to be even huger for retail?
Yeah, it could be huge for retail. It could be huge for sports. I mean, MLB is going to use it.
But I think for retail it's going to be huge, but also amazingly annoying too.
Could be.
If only because less annoying in the sense that you're going to have to download. Say you go to your local Macy's Superstore or your local Canadian Tire up here in Canada. They'll be able to set up an iBeacon that will know when you walk in the store. Now you'll have to download an app or give permission for the iBeacon to basically ping your phone. But once it does that, it'll then be able to literally give you directions inside the store. So if you're in a giant department store, you'll be able to say, okay, where's women's lingerie? And it will give you directions to women's lingerie. And as you're walking there, you might say, oh, by the way, you're headed to women's lingerie. Maybe you want to see bras, and bras are over here. And if you buy bras, you'll get 10% off right now. It's going to be very, very hyper-localized, hyper-sensitive shopping. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not, Jim. Do you?
Well, it kind of disturbs me that the first thing you thought of in a Canadian Tire is women's lingerie.
Well, see, when you're in a small town, the Canadian Tires sell everything.
Yeah, but I will admit they don't have it in the ones that I've been to. You know, the hardware stores usually just carry saws and hammers, but
yeah, but the ones in Canmore, Alberta, little small towns, it's like a general store in the Old West. They had to carry everything.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I think the biggest thing is permission. I mean, if you walked everywhere and everything was screaming into your phone, you know, that would be annoying, or sending you texts or doing something. Mm-hmm. That would be just crazy. But yeah, I mean, if it's a store that you like, I mean, if I walk into a music store, a guitar store, and you know they have specials on just for those people that, you know, let it ping, then, you know, I'd probably do that just to see what they have.
In your opinion, even before it's widespread adopted, has Apple already killed NFC?
I don't know that NFC has even gotten off the ground yet.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you know, people keep talking about NFC, but there's nothing that I've seen to show that it's actually being used widely.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So I don't know that there was really anything to kill, but, the buzz.
Yeah. And I think it's also, this is the reason why when people were clamoring for Apple to put NFC in the next iPhone, this is the reason why Apple didn't do it. They had a better solution. They didn't tell anybody, but they've got a better solution than NFC does. It's much, much lower power, much, much cheaper, much simpler for developers and retailers to implement. This thing is like I said, it's under the radar now. We saw some stories last week about how Major League Baseball is going to use it. They're going to use it in kind of cool, interesting kinds of ways. But I think in retail, this is where iBeacon is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's a big help. Let's move on to the other story.
No, I don't know what else to say. I agree with you.
No. Okay.
I mean, it's one of those things that can be huge if it's done right.
And I got to believe that for the most part, Apple's going to do it right. Apple knows how to roll these things out, and I think Apple has got enough of behind the scenes stuff. I've talked to a couple of developers about it, and the stuff that we don't know about because we're not developers is very exciting for them. They're really excited on how they're going to be able to use iBeacon in their apps, whether they be mapping apps or weather apps or anything else like that. It's going to be very, very exciting for a wide range of developers. Let's find something that we don't agree on. You heard the news today that the FAA has said that electronics are now safe to use gate to gate. Do you agree with this? Do you care? Do you need to use your electronics on takeoff and landing?
The only thing I like to use, to be honest, is my iPod.
Yeah.
I like to put my iPod in when I go sit down and then fall asleep, but, then they wake me up to turn it off.
Yeah, yeah. Do you care that the FAA doesn't allow this now? Will you care that the FAA will allow it in the future? Is this the issue I have with it mostly is Nick Bilton over at the New York Times has been beating this drum now for 18 months and whining about it. It doesn't matter. Is it really that important that you use your iPod or your Kindle for that 30 minutes on takeoff and that 30 minutes on landing?
Well, I would have liked to have used it sometimes, but I don't really care.
No.
I mean, if they're going to come by and say that you can't use it, then okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Can you use your phone?
No, they're still not allowing cell phone use, which is good, which is fantastic. I will personally fight against that. I don't care about this electronics use one way or the other, but I swear to God, if there's someone sitting next to me on a plane and they're on their phone for more than about 15 minutes, I'm going to have a conversation with them discussing how they're going to turn it off.
Yeah.
There is no way that I'm going to sit through a whole flight of a half conversation. That would just drive me frickin' insane. Air travel's already painful enough without some douchebag next to me talking to whoever.
Or worse, a douchebag 3 seats back talking so loud that it's like he's sitting beside you.
Exactly. Yeah, I will have conversations with those passengers. There's no way that I would put up with that. That's just, I will pay extra to be on a non-cell phone flight.
I want smoking back on flights.
I still remember as a kid them allowing smoking on planes, and now as an adult thinking, that was the dumbest idea ever.
I don't know. Why? What do you mean?
Well, especially with the smoking and non-smoking sections. Like, the smoke wouldn't go past this one chair. It just made no sense whatsoever.
That's what I'm going to start an airline, just only smoking.
Good luck with that.
And we're going to have a special security check to make sure that you have cigarettes on you when you get on the plane.
That's right, exactly. That you are actively smoking as you walk through the terminal.
Yep.
That would be interesting for you to try to pull that off. But the issue of, because the thing for me is, it doesn't make a difference if you can't read your Kindle for 30 minutes. I mean, our parents flew just fine. Maybe it's because they smoked, but our parents flew just fine without having to be entertained by an electronic device for the entire length of your flight. If you can't use your Kindle, just sit there.
Yeah, well, now we can, so we want to.
Bring a book. Bring a magazine. Bring a newspaper.
They do. It's on their Kindle.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't see this as being any kind of a huge deal that let the FAA do what they want to do. But the fact that something as prestigious as the New York Times is beating this drum, I think that's what pissed me off the most, was that Nick Bilton was wasting the resources of the New York Times, whining about the fact that he couldn't use his iPad for 30 minutes. He's like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, well, everybody needs something, right?
Sadly, you are correct. I thought it was funny you posted on The Loop today, this afternoon, Mercedes driverless research car. Personally, I trust Mercedes more than Google. Maybe, yeah. But do you like the idea of driverless cars?
No, but if I'm going to talk about it, I'd rather drive a Mercedes one than a Google one.
Okay, so you're looking at this from a whole different viewpoint.
The Google one looks like it has training wheels on it. The Mercedes one looks like, okay, it's high tech. Okay, I'm going with Mercedes.
Yeah, it's not. It's the Google car is not an attractive looking car. You can guarantee that Mercedes is at least going to have a nice looking car. It may not work driverless, but at least it's going to look good.
And Mercedes has kind of built cars before.
Yep.
I probably wouldn't use the Mercedes search engine.
That's an excellent point. I hadn't thought about that. You're right.
Actually, I may.
You think it might be a possibility of you using the Google search engine?
Yeah, I'm ready to try anything.
See, for me,
Google knows too much.
For me, I like driving too much to want to give up that joy and that pleasure to a driverless vehicle. I know a lot of folks are in rush hour traffic twice a day, and it's just a pain. I mean, when we lived near New York City, I could not believe the 1.5, 2 hour drives during rush hour that would take you an hour. That would take you 45 minutes in a car without rush hour. Yeah, that can get very annoying and very frustrating. So for driverless cars, I see the point there. And yes, they will be safer in theory, but I like the act of driving. I like sitting behind the wheel and driving a vehicle. So for me personally, I wouldn't like a driverless car.
I do too. I like to drive.
But you no longer can afford a Mercedes. You still have your Lexus? Or did you give that up for a Tercel?
Oh, no, I gave that stuff up a long time
ago.
Now there are more important things in life, like sending my 2 kids to university.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you made that mistake, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You had children. Speaking of making mistakes, I think there are 2 mistakes in this story. The first mistake is by Agam Shah of IDG News Service, who, for some bizarre reason, decided to interview Anand Chandrasekhar, Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer at Qualcomm, about Apple's 64-bit A7 chip. Was this the most ridiculous interview you read this week?
Kind of crazy, isn't it?
Why would you interview this guy? What else is he going to say except marketing gimmick?
Yeah.
He knows it's not a marketing gimmick. He knows, that the guys at Qualcomm are running around with their hair on fire right now trying to figure out how to get 64-bit into their chips. So for him to say it's a marketing gimmick is just disingenuous at the very least.
Then it won't be a marketing gimmick when they have it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's like the Samsung and the gold iPhones. We had it first.
Yeah.
That
Samsung, now they're cheating on benchmarks.
Well, the thing with the benchmark cheating story is that everyone's been cheating for a long period of time, except for Apple and Motorola, which I found very interesting.
Yep.
That story was found out by the guys at Anantech, which are uber geeks. Those guys are just amazing when they start digging into the depths of things. Is this really a surprise? Isn't this something that companies should be doing, is gaming benchmarks, or should the benchmark folks have known better and made it not possible to be gamed? I'm not sure of where the fault really lies through all this.
Well, I think that the fault lies with Samsung and the other companies.
Yeah.
because they're the ones gaming the system. And, I guess every system gets gamed sooner or later.
Yep.
But, I mean, you're just cheating at that point. So that kind of stuff just, it irritates me when they do that.
Did you have any comment on Phil Schiller's tweet about this issue? I thought that was kind of interesting that Phil would step up and say something.
I didn't see it.
Schiller just basically said that it was a very short tweet. He didn't say much of anything, but the fact that he commented on another company cheating on the benchmarks, I thought was kind of interesting in and of itself.
What did he say?
Fine, I'll look it up. Jeez, don't you follow Schiller? Everyone follows Schiller, don't they?
I follow Schiller. I just didn't see the tweet.
Yeah, he pointed to the Ars Technica. He pointed to the Ars Technica article and just simply said shenanigans and pointed to Ars Technica.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and I have no problem with Schiller saying that. I wish that Schiller would say the same thing about the Qualcomm guy too.
Yeah.
I would love to see Phil Schiller say to Qualcomm, "Let's see your ass innovate."
Yeah, exactly. This stuff is just terrible.
Well, it's the kind of thing that I'm glad that Anantech and Ars Technica and those kind of guys called Samsung and other companies out on this. This is the kind of thing that the media is supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be calling people out on these kinds of things. They're supposed to be pointing out where people are trying to cheat consumers and other journalists and other people. This is what the media is supposed to do.
I agree.
Unlike the asshat Brooke Carruthers over at CNET. Did you see this story? iPad 5 set to outpace iPad Mini 2 shipments, KGI says. What was wrong with that sentence, Jim?
Oh, nothing.
Let me read it again for you then. iPad 5 set to outpace iPad Mini 2 shipments, KGI says. Is there a better Is there a better example of a so-called analyst pulling things out of his ass than this guy predicting the iPad 5, which no one's seen, Apple hasn't announced, Apple hasn't mentioned, will outship the iPad Mini 2, which no one's seen, which Apple's never announced, and no one's ever mentioned?
All sounds reasonable to me. MacMan
in the IRC chat room says, so the Apple Unicorn will outsell the Apple Pegasus. Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
sad, isn't it?
In my now. This is not on the CNET opinion site. This is not on the CNET pulling numbers out of our ass site. This is on the CNET news site. You are much more of a newsman than I am. Is an analyst making wild ass guesses like this actually news from this point of view?
Well, it shouldn't be, but it is. It is these days. Shouldn't
there be more of a sense of criticism, of skepticalness from CNET from a story like this? Because there is none in this story. He's just basically taking Ming-Chi Kuo, KGI analyst's numbers from a report they sent to his clients and just reprinting them in the CNET story with no indication whatsoever that these things aren't real.
Well, that's exactly right. But how is that different from any other day?
Yeah, I think it's different.
Really,
Go ahead.
These analysts are doing this every single day.
Well, no, see, I don't have a problem with the analyst doing it, because what the analyst did was that he has a client database, and he sends out an email about whatever his clients want to hear. That I have no problem with. I have no problem with this analyst saying it. My problem is with CNET reporting it as if it's news. It's not. It's speculation. It's guesswork. It's complete and utter bullshit.
Well, yeah, but isn't that what news is these days?
Sadly, yes, you are probably correct. Oh, I dropped you. Hang on. You're back. Sorry. Sadly, you're correct. That's what a lot of news is, at least tech news, anyway, is done by people who will not question whatever press release they get handed to them.
Well, and why do you think that these analysts send out notes to to these tech sites because they know that they'll publish them, and that gets their name in the press.
Well, true, but also, I mean, you must get them too. We get readers who are clients of these analysts who send these things to us too.
Sure.
So maybe I'll give
yeah.
I'll give the KGI analyst the benefit of the doubt there and just say that maybe one of his clients sent this off to Brooke Carruthers. He's still the analyst is still an idiot for writing this report, but at least he sent it in theory in private to his client base. When Brooke Carruthers then turns this into news without any sort of criticism or skepticality, that's when it really pisses me off.
It's sad. But, this is what happens these days.
Yep.
I mean, there used to be a time, and you remember years back, where analysts' notes were actually decent.
Yeah.
Because they were going to, I don't know, people that actually, mattered.
Well, I think also that
they were going to their investors. I think that they took them more seriously. Now they realize that they're going to get published, and they get all wild and crazy. And
then you turn that around, and like you said, their name gets mentioned on this side of that site. Their company name gets mentioned on this side of that site. Maybe they get some clients out of it too. Maybe someone says, "Hey, that KGI guy seems to know what he's talking about. We'll hire his company to do whatever the hell his company does."
Exactly.
And without some sort of measure of journalistic skepticism and, quite frankly, integrity, he gets away with it.
Oh, sure.
I don't like it. Don't like it. Sorry, just don't like it. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it feels like sometimes. We were talking about this with someone on Twitter, and sometimes it makes you just want to pull your hair out and shut your website down because it just gets so frustrating trying to fight against this tide of bullshit that we deal with all day, every day.
And that's why I ignore it most of the time. I don't bother publishing that stuff. I don't even bother picking most of it apart.
Yep.
Because it's just so terrible.
I thought it was really interesting that none of us who are right for the loop, yourself or Peter or Dave or me, picked up or bothered to pick up this story, and ArcSign wants me to ask you about it, that Delta Airlines will give the Surface 2 to pilots. There's no story here, is there? This is not people. Mac users want to get all up in arms about this, but this is simply a business decision by Delta from the bean counters at Delta and a marketing decision from Microsoft.
Well, I actually did post a link to that, only so that I could laugh at it.
and
I did. I posted something like, I guess that's why I never fly Delta, or note to self, don't ever fly Delta.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yep. Delta will give pilots the Surface. You wrote, note to self, never fly Delta. But the thing is, Delta is a Windows shop anyway, so it makes sense that they would use a Windows tablet. Now, it may not make sense to people why they picked the Surface 2, and the other thing is, ironically enough, the Surface 2, while the iPad has been approved by the FAA, the Surface 2 hasn't. So it still has to go through the FAA process.
To me, it doesn't make sense, though, because I expect any company that I'm going to be using, especially for something as vital as traveling 39,000 feet off the ground, to use the best products. I think the Surface 2 has proven to not be among those best products.
I don't know if I would agree with that. If you're a Windows shop and you need to run Windows software, using an iPad would be stupid.
Okay, why don't you back up there for a minute and say what you said again and think about it this time.
If you're if you're a Windows shop and you need to run Windows,
stop right there. There, that's it. Stop right there.
Okay.
If you're a Windows shop, stop. That says no. I don't. That's why I don't fly Delta.
All right. Okay. If that's why, then that's fair. I have no problem with that. ArcSign
And
says,
the fact that they go ahead and add the Surface 2, yeah, that's just extra badness.
well, yeah, especially because as I've seen in other stories, it's going to take them 2 years to roll this out. The Surface 2 is going to be obsolete by at least one version by the time that comes around, so they're going to have to go through the process all over again.
Yeah.
ArcSign says, I think Microsoft can aim for these niche uses and succeed if they assign enough engineering resources to make the Surface fit really well. And I would agree with ArcSign, except for the fact that this was not an engineering decision. This was a pure marketing decision. This was so Microsoft could say, look, this large airline is using our product. You guys should too. It doesn't matter whether it actually works. This is a marketing call for Microsoft.
Well,
Do you agree?
I think it's a bad decision.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah, I understand why Delta made the decision. I certainly don't agree with it. I think because of that reason alone, it's not because it's a bad fit engineering wise, but I think this is solely about marketing. We've already seen. I've gotten 2 emails from Delta pilots, and we've seen stories on Apple Insider and other places where the Delta pilots have fought against using this thing. But again, Delta is a Windows house. So it makes sense for them to want to use a Windows product. I don't think a Surface 2 is the product for them. I think a future Surface product might be, but this one I don't think is going to be the product for Delta. I said on Twitter, in 6 months to a year, we're going to hear the reverse story, Delta pulling Surface 2s in favor of iPads.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any...
Yeah, I think they should just skip all the months in between and just go to iPad now.
Just go to iPad now, exactly. Folks, we're talking to Jim Dalrymple in the Loop at loopinsight.com. He has his own podcast called Amplified. He recorded that this morning live with Dan Benjamin. It's at 5by5.tv. Also available on the iTunes store. Just do a search for Amplified. Jim, thanks for joining me, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
All right, talk next week. See ya.
Bye.
When we come back, folks, we'll take a short little break. You know what? All I got to do is put up this graphic, and then we'll get the CIG to slide on in here. Come on, kiddo. We'll get the CIG. I got to hang up on Jim. Hang on a second. Let me just make sure I've got Jim hung up on. Where's your microphone? There's your microphone. And here's your volume. So now you can talk.
Hello again.
There you go. Okay, let's see now. We got the good graphic up. Oh, hang on. No, my fault. There we go. Did you get shorter while you were over there on the couch? Sit up straight, woman. Sit up straight.
I am.
Back straight.
This
chest
is
out.
as tall as I am.
Yeah, that's right. You're not very big.
No, I'm not.
5 feet? 5'1"?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're how many meters are you?
155.
So 1.5 meters. That's Hobbit-sized. I think.
Thank you. It's so nice to meet you.
And MacMan says, didn't you interview a pilot about using iPads in the cockpit? Yes, MacMan. It was our friend Kent Weens. He's an American Airlines pilot. And so you're also 47 kilos?
Yes.
All right, someone translate that for me. Because I think...
It's 105.
105? So I'm literally twice as massive as you and a foot and something taller. I don't know why that matters, but it's kind of cute.
It's the brain that matters. So
well, your
we
brain,
should compare that.
Your brain is bigger than mine. There's no way around it.
But I had a concussion,
Oh,
so I don't know.
You guys, this is so funny. You've been using that as an excuse for everything. It's like, she goes to the store, come back. Did you buy bread? No, I have a concussion. What?
That was the worst thing that ever happened to me. You should try. Well, I don't
try
want you to try, but it was very bad.
It's interesting, too, because I've had concussions, but mine were many years ago in high school, and they were football related. And I don't remember the after effects that you had with yours. Mine were bang, hit in the head, literally felt like I woke up an hour later, 2 hours later. Like, what am I doing here? And I don't remember as a kid whether I felt dizzy or whether I was nauseous or disoriented. But you were quite disoriented for
a couple of weeks. I couldn't remember many things.
Yeah, and that scared you. You still don't remember the accident, do you?
No, I don't remember anything about it, absolutely. And still now I have moments where I forget things, and it's scary.
But you always have moments like that. We all do at our ages.
It was already before the accident, but now there is a reason.
All right. And you're milking that reason. You milk that reason all the time.
It helps a bit.
Mosquito. My father-in-law sustained a concussion almost a year ago in a car accident. Didn't help. Still an asshole. It doesn't mean it's going to change your personality. So let's do the bad stuff first, and then we'll do the good stuff later. This is Alessandra's first attempt at a review of a product. As I said, we were talking about this at dinner last night, and the folks from this PR company kept badgering me. I got 6 emails from this woman. And normally the way it works, company sends a press release. They say, would you like a review product? I say, sure, send me a review product. If I like it, I talk about it in the show. If I don't like it, I don't talk about it. So what a company will do sometimes is they will send you an email. Hey, did you have a chance to review it? And if I have, I'll say, yes, it was on this show. If I haven't, and I'm going to, I'll say, oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for reminding me. I'll get to it as soon as I can. But if I don't like the product, I'm just going to ignore your email. All right? So this woman sends me an email. 2 weeks later, I get another email. I ignore it. 2 weeks later, another email. I ignore it. 6 emails later, I'm like, all right, fine. You want your frickin' review? Here's your frickin' review. So I said this to Alessandra last night over dinner. She was like, oh, no, you can't say bad things about that. And I'm like, well, why not? It's a piece of crap. But, and you said?
I really like it.
So what we're talking about here is a product from the folks at Dockem, Dockem. I'll post the link in the IRC chat room for those folks. Dockem, and it's called the iProp Universal Tablet Beanbag Stand. Now, first of all, I don't know, the iProp name, that's a bit goofy, don't you think? It's a little silly of a name. But let's go with why I dislike it. First of all, they had a video here. Where'd the video go? Show their alternate views of the product. So, first of all, when you get the product, it's like a little tiny beanbag chair. A little itty-bitty tiny beanbag chair. It's not particularly impressive. It's nothing spectacular. Let me hold this up with my one hand.
Yeah.
So here's the front of it, and there's this plastic bit on the front. It's rubberized, so it's a little slick, a little bit soft to the touch. And so a little lip on the front where you would put your iPad. And because it's got beanbaggy kind of material, it'll lie flat. It'll lie like this. It'll lie like that. So it'll lie in different directions. It's kind of squishy, typical beanbag type stuff. Now, I noticed doing research for this afternoon, they have pulled this from the marketing material. So this changes my review a little bit. One of the things they initially said about this product was that not only could you use it for your iPad to prop things up, this is a travel iProp. So the idea was that you would, while you were flying, you would use this to prop up your, I keep putting that in front of your face, sorry. You would use this to prop up your iPad while in flight. But then, and this was the kicker, then they said you could also use it as a pillow. As a pillow. How the hell are you going to use that as a pillow? That's just completely idiotic. It's just the dumbest idea ever. Now, like I said, they've taken that off their marketing materials. So, leaving aside that stupid use case for it, I'm not jazzed about this. This doesn't excite me in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't seem interesting enough to me to warrant talking about it on the show. Now, Alessandra, why do you like this?
The reasons I like it, it's because I'm imagining to use it in very tiny areas, like when I am on the corner of the couch because someone else is using all the rest of the couch. I don't know.
That never happens.
And this tiny thing is very helpful. Or in a car or on a plane. And because we are planning to have a trip on a plane, I'm seeing myself using it.
No.
And also as a pillow, because I cannot use the pillows around my neck. They hurt my neck. I can imagine using this. I think it would be very nice. And I will be taking it with me and testing it and seeing if it really works like that. Also, there is an opening. You can put stuff inside, so I can.
This is also ridiculous
I
too.
can put some chocolate in it and have a
Jesus.
snack after my nap.
So there's a little. You can just kind of see. I can't get it open with one
We
hand.
don't have enough hands.
We don't have enough hands, exactly. There's a little zippered pouch. An idea with the zipper pouch is that you could take the eye prop, the beanbaggy stuff out and wash the eye prop because it got dirty or grungy or whatever it might be. But they actually do recommend. They do say in the marketing material, it's a great place for storage. Like what?
absolutely.
No, because where's the beanbaggy bit's going to go?
There is enough room for some chocolate.
Just not.
I checked.
You've already checked this as a chocolate transportation device, have you? Okay. See, I don't know. Now, it comes in black, and it comes in this sort of off-white, dirty gray.
Gray.
Yeah, I guess you call it a dirty gray kind of color. What's the price on it? I think it's like $40. No, $29.99. Free shipping in the United States. Ships in 24 hours. See, I can see using it, but I don't see it as being, for example, the picture of the guy, again, the website is dockem.com, DOCKEM.com. On the website, they have a picture of a guy relaxing on a couch like you would with the eye prop in his lap, but to me that seems unstable, that it would fall off your lap.
Because he has a lot of room, as I was saying. When I just have a little corner on the couch, I need this stuff.
I don't do that. Stop saying that. You're making it sound bad. Sly in the RC chat room says, I like Alessandra. Mosquito says she's kicking ass. Bite me, both of you. All right, from just the website, dockem.com, and our descriptions, who agrees with me? Who agrees with Alessandra? Which one of you, who thinks that this seems like a dumb idea?
I will also give proofs, because when I will be testing it on the plane, Shawn will take picture of me with his new camera,
Yes, I
and we
will.
will show them to you. So you will judge those.
Mosquito says, with the eye prop, I can see a pillowy thing working under some conditions, but this thing doesn't look substantial or flexible enough. It is stiff. Yeah, I was surprised that it doesn't have more give to it, that it's not more beanbaggy, in the sense that this should be able to almost, I don't want to say lie flat, but certainly be more compressible. Then it doesn't seem to be compressible enough, because it is bulky. I mean, I can't imagine this is going to take up a lot of space in your carry-on. When you put this in your luggage to take it to the airport, that's taking up not a small amount of space. And Arcsign says $30 for beans in a bag. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'd want it redesigned to be a bit wider. Yeah, I'd like wider too. That use case where they show on the website with someone with it on their leg seemed a little too narrow for my uses. So we'll test this out. We're going to apparently, according to her, we're going to Italy the middle of October, after October 17th, because October 17th.
As soon as you're free of your cast.
I get this thing off. So on October 17th, we'll find out whether or not the doctor says I can travel after I get this thing off. I hope so. Oh, God,
Well, we
I hope
booked
so.
the flight anyway. I need to go, please.
So you're saying we would travel against doctor's orders?
Please.
Okay. All right. I don't know how wise that is, but hey, you're the boss.
I want to see my family and my country.
So overall, the eye prop, is it something you would recommend people buy? Would you tell the audience that they should go buy this?
Well, I think it's a nice idea for little spaces, maybe little people like me. And I will see after the flight if it's really as I imagine it will be.
Okay. I would say no. I would say do not buy this. I would say there are other better props and stands in cases out there that you can do much better. My favorite one is still, I've yet to find anything that's better than the newsstand from the folks at OWC. It's still the best, most versatile stand I've ever used. Moving on. I don't recommend this, but because of the motorcycle accident, I was able to get... Hand it to me.
This one again.
No, that's again. Yes. Look at my precious. My precious. This is the D600 from Nikon with the 24-85 kit lens on it. 24 megapixels, 5.5 frames per second. I think it's about 3 pounds. It's substantial. You know what? This is so heavy, I cannot hold it in my cast by itself. My other camera, I could. Even the D3S, I could hold one-handed. This is, if you are in the market for, as it was described on many websites, a high-end prosumer camera. This is not the D50, which I love, by the way. I still love my D50. I'll be handing that down to Alessandra. The D50 was a low-end consumer DSLR. This is, in some ways, could work as a professional camera. It certainly could work as a secondary professional camera. But the Nikon D600 is a very, very good prosumer camera. I'm very happy I got it. I'm glad I didn't, not waste, but glad I didn't spend the extra money for the D800. If only because the D800 is significantly more money, but also significantly more camera that I'm going to need. It's 36 megapixels. I'm never going to need 36 megapixels in a camera. It shoots HD video at a much higher rate than the D600, which also shoots HD video. The most of the features of the D600 are either identical to the D800 or a step down from the D800. So it might be a little bit slower. Actually, some of the reviews I've read, the quiet mode on the D600 is better than any other camera. One reviewer said that the D600 is the single best camera Nikon makes. Now, I disagree with that because Nikon makes some damn fine cameras. I've used some of Nikon's damn fine cameras. I would not say the D600 is the single best. From the reviews I've read, it's a very, very good camera. I'm really going to enjoy shooting with this because it does, for me, for those folks who've watched my Flickr feed over the years, you know I like shooting in low light. My two favorite shoots are portraits, people in general, and in low light conditions. And the ISO on this one is very, very usable, up to 12,800. I'll probably shoot at 6400 ISO in the dark, but that's a very, very good ISO. The D50 couldn't go past ISO 800, and even that was a lot of noise, grit, grain in the picture. That doesn't mean, if you're not a photographer, that doesn't mean anything to you, but basically what it means is that the D600 is really good in low light conditions. I don't know if I'll ever use the actual video aspect of it. I don't know if that's important enough to me. I'll play around with it, but I don't know if I'm going to use video. Another great thing about it is that it's got two SD card slots. What that means is you can have two cards in the camera and it can shoot to both cards. So you'll double your card memory. Or you can have it shoot RAW to one card and JPEG to the other, which is what I'll end up doing, which is really kind of a neat way of doing it. The JPEGs I can push to the website immediately. The RAWs I can play around with a little bit later. So it's going to be interesting and fun to play around with that. This is the camera that we're going to take to Italy. This is the camera that I'll play around with in the Duomos and the cathedrals in Italy and the restaurants, and taking pictures of Alessandra's niece. Niece? Is it niece or nephew? Nephew.
Nephew is a boy. Edoardo.
What?
Eduardo.
So it's like Eddie.
Yeah.
But I would get in trouble if I called him Ed, wouldn't I? You don't shorten Italian names like we do in North America.
No, not in that way.
Yeah, Eddie isn't a good name?
No, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe Edo.
Edo would be the nickname?
Yeah.
Yeah, North American, we very often nickname or shorten someone's name, but I've noticed that Italians don't. It's like your nickname would be Alex, but you hate that, don't you?
They call me Ale.
Ale?
My brother calls me Ale, so you will hear him calling me like that.
So that's what we're going to use in Italy. Mosquito says, what lens are you using? The kit lens in this is a decent 24-85. Not a great one, but I think I'll practice with it for a while. I've also went and bought the nifty 50. Every DSL shooter should have a Canon 50mm 1.8 or a Nikon 50mm 1.8. Under $200. Great, fun little lens for portrait shots. I might, depending on whether or not she lets me, when we go to Italy, rent the Nikon 2470 lens that I used on the D3s. I love that lens. It's $2,000. It's a great lens, and I'd never ever buy it, but I might be able to rent it for a couple $100.
How much? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I would let you.
It's a very well. We were talking about Alessandra and I were talking about the interesting difference between lenses. This is a 2485 kit. I think it's about $500, whereas the 2070, which sounds like less of a lens because the numbers are smaller, is $2,000. But that's the difference in build quality. It's the difference in f-stop. It's the difference in lens, in the glass of it. It's worth the extra $1,500, but I'm never going to buy that lens. That lens is just insanely expensive, but it's very, very good. It's very, very clear. I love that lens. But I'm going to try to see if I can get away with the kit lens. I read several reviews, DP Review and other places, that says the kit lens, this particular kit lens, is not bad. With the it's f-stop 3.5 to 4.5, and with the high ISO I can shoot at it, I might be able to get away with using this lens as my primary lens in Italy. But I'll find out. And like I said, I've got 2 weeks, a little over, 2 weeks to practice with this thing. Could you go get the manual?
Yeah.
I got a little over 2 weeks to practice with this thing and see if it shoots the way I want it to shoot. If it doesn't, then I'll grab the, I'll rent the kit lens.
And
rent
two
the
weeks to read the manuals.
It's going to take, okay. So all these things come with manuals. So there's a manual for the 2485 lens. There's a manual for the 50 millimeter lens. And of course, there's a manual for the D600. Look at this. This is the manual for the D600. This is not even in 18 different languages. This is all in English. This is 318 pages of instructions for my camera. Oh my God. And look, it's worse. It's in 2-point type. It's in little itty bitty bitty tiny
You
type.
need my glasses to read it.
I'm literally going to have to go get glasses so I can read this freaking manual. 350 pages. Are you nuts? That's insane. Unfreaking believable. It'll take me a whole week to read this. The whole trip that we're going to, for Friday, we're driving from Calgary, Alberta, Canada to Vernon, British Columbia to meet and so Alessandra can meet and I can see for the first time in 20 years my friends from college, Glenn and Susan. Hi, Glenn and Susan. Hi. If we were both feeling well, or if we both could drive, we could do the straight shot to Vancouver. It's 11 hours. But because I can't drive, Alessandra has a manual because she's European. The fancy-ass Europeans only drive manuals. Excuse us.
If you want control of your car, you need the manual.
I agree. The so and we're not sure if she's healthy enough yet to drive all that distance. So we're gonna
Not.
You're not? Okay. So we're gonna go halfway to Glenn and Susan's, and then on Saturday the other half to Vancouver. Mosquito says find out if they have an audiobook version. I couldn't listen to an audiobook version of a computer manual. There's just no way I could do that. MacMan says that 2470 2.8 is amazing. Yeah, MacMan, I've used that on several trips in conjunction with the D3S, and it's incredible. I get some amazing, spectacularly beautiful pictures with that lens. I wish I could afford it, but it's way too much money. Don H says, to Vancouver for the cruise in August, we stopped in Canmore. How did your cruise ship get to Canmore? I've never seen a cruise ship in Canmore, have you? I think Don H is lying.
No. Yeah.
And Don, why did you stop in Canmore, not Banff? If you're traveling from Calgary to Vancouver, why the hell would you stop in Canmore? Canmore, for those who don't know, if you ever get a chance to visit this area, the Calgary, Banff, Canmore corridor, spectacularly beautiful. The town of Canmore, the town of Banff. Banff is the tourist town that everyone in the world knows about. Canmore, how do you describe Canmore?
It's more a family town. There are families with kids and schools, and it's not that touristic as Banff.
It's more the town where people who work in Banff live in Canmore, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, and Banff is mostly hotels.
Yeah, it's hotels in tourist type places, which are fine. You know, it's not bad, not a bad town. But yeah, Canmore is where you live, and Banff is where you work or you visit. So if you get a chance, but they're both spectacular. The mountains around here are just unbelievable, just mind-blowingly good. I want to tell you guys, I want the audience to play along with me. Alessandra and I have been practicing with this and playing around with this, and this is kind of cool. Go to, I'm putting it in the IRC chat room for you folks. Go to the iTunes store. Do a search for Jump Cam, JUMPCAM. And once you sign up, once you download the software and sign up, send me an email, Shawn@yourmaclifeshow.com. And I'll send you my Jump Cam link or name. Jump Cam is interesting because what it does is it allows you to, as they say, it's a free, fun way to film videos together with your friends. Record your favorite memories and invite your friends to add clips to your video. This is really kind of a neat idea. What it does is I create a video and then I tell people who are also on Jump Cam, hey, here's my video, go add your bit. And you can add to the end of the video I created your own video bit. So what I want to do is I want to create an audience video that we can play during the show of audience members saying, hi, my name is so-and-so, I live in so-and-so, and this is your Mac life. Or, hi, my name is so-and-so, I live in so-and-so, hi, Shawn, hi, Alessandra, love the show. Whatever it is you might want to say. I think there might be a 10-second limit to the videos. But it's really easy to use. Alessandra and I were able to do it. I was able to create a video and then tell her about the video. And then on her iPhone, she created a video, added it to my video, and because you can embed the videos in a website, the website automatically updates with the new video. It was really kind of, did you like,
very nice.
What did you think of it?
Yeah, it was very easy to use for me that I'm not.
Well, you're not, that's, no, don't be embarrassed by that. You're not a geek. You're not technical. So for me, it was important that you could use this and you could make it work. Because if you couldn't use it, then I don't want to tell the audience about it. If it's not easy enough for Alessandra to use.
So I am the limit.
That's a limit. No, I think you're a perfect test case. Because for me, it's important that the vast majority of people in the audience, I know the geeks can figure everything out. But there's a lot of folks in the audience who aren't geeks, who just want things to be simple. That's one of the reasons why we use Macintoshes. It's one of the reasons why we use the iPad and the iPhone. We want things that are simple. We're not dumb. It's not like we can't figure this stuff out. We don't want to. We don't feel that we have to figure things out in order to make them work. So as long as it's simple to use and does cool things, we'll talk about it. And Alessandra is my test case, is my guinea pig for these things. If it's simple enough for her to use, if she gets it, if you like it, like we said, iOS 7, I showed her iOS 7. No, it's nonsense. Say it. It's nonsense.
I don't want to say bad things, but...
No, say it's nonsense.
It's nonsense.
Just the way you say it is very cute. Go ahead, say it.
It's nonsense.
It's nonsense. Also, one of her favorite sayings, it's crazy. Say it.
It's crazy.
She says it all the time for no apparent reason. Just talking about something and it's crazy.
I didn't notice. I was.
Yeah, you say it's nonsense and it's crazy all the time. I love it. It's wonderful. We just happened to mention Don H. He was the guy who went on the cruise. The Calgary ship to Vancouver stopped in 2 Canadian cities each way. Visited hot springs after we got back. Cruise was to Alaska with the grandkids. Okay, that sounds like fun. And he is a Limac guy. New to YML, I was the mug transporter from Limac. Oh, Don! Where's the Limac mug?
Oh, I get you.
Get it! Yes, Don, thank you very much. That's right. We missed each other. You were very busy with your family. I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to hook up while you were here in the area. I'm sorry about that, but we got the mug.
Here we go.
Here's proof. Look, buddy. Long Island Macintosh User Group.
Yeah,
Limac.org.
we have it and we use it.
And we actually use it. So thanks very much to everyone at Limac for that. And big thanks to Dawn for transporting that all the way from Long Island, New York. Yeah, Long Island, New York. I forgot what the state was for all of a sudden. ArcSign. So we do a group Harlem Shuffle video. No. Do not do Harlem Shuffle videos. But yeah, check it out. Jump Cam is the app. Go to the iTunes store and do a search for Jump Cam, and we'll see what we can figure out here. Les Posen. Oh yeah, Les Posen is going to rag me on this one. I know that. Les Posen says, he asked me, this was 2 weeks ago, can you take an in-depth look at iBeacons? I said, you're joking, right? When's the last time we ever talked about barely developed tech? Well, first of all, we didn't do an in-depth look at iBeacon, Les. That's going to be for Anantech or ours or those kind of guys. Look at it in-depth. We just briefly glossed over it. But because of the Major League Baseball announcement, because of some other things I've seen from people who know, iBeacon is becoming more and more important and more popular. So yeah, Les asked about this at least 2 weeks ago. So Les, you were ahead of the curve on this one, buddy. Thank you very much for that. Let me do some emails from you guys. As always, you can send us emails to the show at yourmaclifeshow.com. Oh, do you want to pimp the hard candy case one more time? Folks, please, somebody, I'm begging you.
I would like to give away this present.
She's near tears.
What
Stop calling it a present.
Well, it is.
No,
it's
a
free.
prize. It's a prize. See, when you call it a present, you personalize it, and that's what hurts so much. That's why you get.
It's a very nice case,
Okay.
nice colors,
Like the
and
colors?
you can detach the bottom. You have 3 different options,
Okay.
and it's cute. It's nice. If you want it, just send me a nice picture, and I will get it.
A nice picture of what?
Of yourself with your new iPhone 5.
iPhone 5 or iPhone 5S. It'll fit either one of them.
Yeah.
Send it to contest at yourmaclifeshow.com. Please, somebody,
Please.
I'm begging you.
It's a personal request.
If we don't get we'll be giving them away on next week's show. If we don't get any pictures, she's going to cry on air.
Yeah, there's just 1 week left, please.
Is the CIG going to put a ribbon on the prize? No, you know what?
Yes,
No,
yes,
no,
yes,
no, no,
yes, yes.
no. Oh my God.
Let me do it.
You want to put a ribbon on the prize? Really?
If it makes it more attractive. And then when they use it, they will realize how good it is.
So you want to wrap this up as if it's a present. You're going to put it in a box.
It is a present. It's something coming from our heart.
Larry in Arizona, I'm going to kick your ass if I ever see you. You don't see. This is the problem. She's forgotten where she lives.
What do you mean?
We live in Canada.
Oh, and you don't give presents in Canada?
No, we do. The problem is our winners are probably going to be in the United States of America. You've got to ship it to them. How much is that going to cost?
I will put a light ribbon.
No, it's not a matter of the ribbon. It's a matter of the cost of shipping something to America. You don't think it's going to be too expensive? Okay, fine. You know what? We'll do one. That one.
Okay, just one.
Hold that one up.
This special one,
This one.
will have a beautiful ribbon that I will personally prepare.
The other ones are going to come from the nice folks at hardcandycases.com. They are in the States. See, because there's no point in companies sending things to us anywhere, whether we're in Canada or the U.S., and then have them ship it, then have us ship it back down to the States and spend the money on it. So that's why I always tell companies, no, you guys hold on to the prize. You guys will send the product to the winner rather than me doing it and having to keep track of it and have it sitting here in a box somewhere. I'd much rather for the company to do it. But this one time only, you want it to be the first person who sends in a picture?
It's we'll see how many we receive.
Okay. All right.
But because this is the first present,
Yes.
it's a special thing, so we will treat it in a special way.
Okay. All right. So if you say contest at yourmaclifeshow.com, send us a picture of you with your iPhone 5. So in other words, you can take a picture of it with the iPhone 4 or in a mirror or something like that. Send it to contest at yourmaclifeshow.com, and someone's going to win a hand-wrapped, beribboned present from the CIG. I can't believe I
Absolutely,
caved
and
to this.
it will be sent from Vancouver because
Sent from
next week we
Vancouver.
will be there.
Arcsign says, I have to disagree with your excitement or prediction on the impact of iBeacon. It seems like just another ad delivery system. Oh, it is. As we said during Jim's segment, it's going to be big in Major League Baseball parks, NFL parks. It's going to be big in museums. It's going to be huge in museums, I think. I've heard from a little birdie that Apple is going to subsidize the price of the iBeacon spots for nonprofits. That's going to be. They're never going to announce that, but they're going to do that. So that museums and those kind of places will be able to install these and get it up and running much faster. But I agree, it's going to be huge in retail. It's going to be absolutely huge in retail. Sly is the preeminent shopper that I know. Sly, listen to this. How would you like it if when you went to Metrotown, you could ask your iPhone to tell you where a pair of, I'm making this up, I have no idea, a pair of size 8 red pumps were? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? And then to have your iPhone say in Siri's voice, Sly, Macy's has them. But if you'd like to go to Aldo Shoes, they have 10% off blue pumps. Wouldn't that be cool for a shopper like Sly? For me, no. I think iBeacon in a retail environment would be annoying as hell, and I can't imagine ever using it. But for shoppers, I don't want to say women, but certainly primarily for women, that kind of stuff could be really cool. Alessandra and I were talking about this on the way back from Calgary a couple of days ago. How much fun it would be, or not fun, but how nice it would be to, as you're walking through a mall and you've downloaded the mall's iBeacon app, your phone buzzes, you look at it and it says, the dress shop that you're standing next to is giving you a 10% discount on anything you buy if you come into the store right now. That could be kind of cool.
Especially if it's about discounts. They are always welcome.
Exactly. Everyone likes a discount. You know, your Sly is a notorious, Sly says, you know me in a mall, I can sniff out a sale without a flipping iPhone. So Sly loves window shopping. How much more fun would window shopping be if the windows spoke to you? You know, if your iPhone popped up and said 15% discount or sale on right now, I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be a very, very, very big deal. And Arxon, you may be right. This may be a complete bust, but I think retail is so big in the States, and this kind of targeted, localized, hyper-local advertising has been something people have been looking to do for many, many years. I think Apple with iAds, with iBeacon, and with the iPhone 5S, with the M7 chip and the motion sensor chip, the M7, this is going to be huge. This, I think, is going to be a very, very, very big deal. Let's do some, I'm going to get my hand around here. Let's do some more emails from folks. We got an email from our friend David Klumpkin in Shakopee, Minnesota. Hope you're okay. When I went to the site to listen to the stream, saw you getting hit by a car. Well, David, to be fair and accurate, I hit the car. It was my fault. Congrats on the future new move. Thank you very much. He says, auto updates do bad. They don't do them like Android where it gives you options. Full auto, notify you, or never. Yeah, I don't like any auto updates. I turn off auto updates all the time. I just don't trust auto updates. And if you need proof, look at the latest Apple TV OS system update, version 6, that bricked people's Apple TVs. And this has been going on a long time. I've said before, the Apple TV seems to be the most troublesome update Apple has ever had. I can go further back, and some folks may remember, I don't know what version of iTunes. My brain wants to say iTunes 4. I'm not sure. But an auto update of iTunes 4 deleted hard drives. Yes, deleted hard drives. Can you imagine? You click OK Update, of them, your hard drive is gone and unrecoverable because it did it via a Unix command. No, I do not trust any auto updates. I don't trust them from Apple. I don't trust them from Amazon. I don't trust them from anybody. I do not like auto updates. I have no problem opening up iTunes and looking and seeing if there are updates available and clicking update all or not. There was a case, let's say about a month ago, when there was the Kindle app that was getting ready for iOS 7, except Kindle released it too soon. And it turned out that if you weren't using iOS 7 and you did update the Kindle app, it would do bad things to your Kindle library. Well, luckily, I read about the update before I updated. Didn't update it. Yeah, I don't do auto updates. Do not want anything that auto updates. And then finally, David says he's a very long time listener. Back in the dial-up days, on my Apple IIc and changing to the Mac IIcX. You listen to your Mac life on an Apple IIc? You're old. I didn't know that was even possible. How did you do that? That's freaking amazing. And this is from another Lie Macker, Richard Madison. This is from a while back. He says, wasn't able to listen to Wednesday's YML. I couldn't get this answer to you, but the doorstop delivery of your Limac mug was no doubt made by Donald Hennessy. That's who I wanted to mention earlier. He's the Limac's membership chair. I didn't know that. He was visiting last month to give Donald a shout-out. We did that. Speaking of shout-outs to Limac members, for those folks, if you tried to update your iPhone 4 to iOS 7, it probably didn't go as well as you would have wanted to. Probably didn't go as smoothly as you wanted to. Scott Randall over at Limac pointed me to a Softpedia item that says installing iOS 7 on an iPhone 4 will slow it to a crawl. There is, however, a very easy fix. Go to Settings, iCloud, and disable or turn off Documents and Data. That's what's causing the slowdown. It's your iPhone 4 running iOS 7, constantly trying to get to the cloud to get the documents and data, and that's why it's so slow. So if you're masochistic enough to run iPhone 7 on an iPhone 4, then and if you notice that problem, that's what you want to take off or turn off, as the case may be. I don't know why these things. All right, never mind. Let's see. At the September meeting, Rick mentioned your accident. Ouch. Thanks, Don. Yeah, it was a big ouch. Do you like auto updates in a box with a Fox? I do not like them in a box. I wouldn't like them with a Fox. I do not like auto updates. We have a very silly audience. Speaking of silly, it's time for us to go. Let me check one more time to see if... Daniel Neal. This is back in August. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm just getting this. He said, Prince's dick move. Your hero did a really shitty thing on Jimmy Fallon a few months ago, which I just saw on Reddit. Okay, first of all, Prince is not a hero, Daniel. He's just a musician. He's a musician I like, but he's just a musician. I don't care if he did something dick on Jimmy Fallon. For the most part, Prince is a dick. There's no way around it. He's always been a dick. I just happen to like his music. Les Posen heard me comment earlier. Remember, Les is down there in Australia. I was invited to give a talk to elderly volunteers at the Jewish Melbourne, in Melbourne, an award-winning tourist attraction here. I located a YouTube video from WWDC of iBeacon engineers showing how it could be used at the Louvre in Paris and showed it to them. 50% got it. Then I said at the end of the tour of the Jewish Museum, the last iBeacon can make a request for a donation and instantly accept credit card payment. 100% got that. That's a way to explain technology. Yeah, that's another use of iBeacon. As you walked out of the museum, in theory, iBeacon could say, hey, the museum is user supported. Please, if you can, PayPal us money. That could work. That's an interesting way of doing it. Like I said, I think there's going to be all kinds of very interesting, very clever ways of using iBeacon that don't involve advertising, don't involve sales, don't involve that kind of stuff. But I think the biggest development, fastest development, is going to be in advertising. It's going to be in retail. It's going to be in... How many times, we've done it all the time. We go to a mall. I'm new to Calgary. I go to a mall. The first thing I do is go to the mall directory. That static map. Now, some of the malls here in Calgary, I think Market Mall or what's the big Chinook Mall? Chinook is the big one. It has an actual display screen, doesn't it? It's got a touch screen where you tap 4 places, right?
Yeah.
So some malls are doing that. But how much nicer would it be if you could walk into the mall, there's an iBeacon above the door, and you would download the mall's map, and you would see where stores were, you would see where sales were, you could have it highlighted just the women's stores, which would be the whole frickin' mall. Or you could have it highlight just the men's store, which would be one frickin' store. Or, that kind of thing. Where's the food court? And the food court would be highlighted on the map, and the map could give you directions. Because some malls are very convoluted, and they're not a square or rectangular. They're not a circle. Some of them can be fairly convoluted. Like, for example, one of the things that drives us nuts: where's the bathroom? Oh my God! Finding a bathroom in a mall is a giant pain in the butt, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, there are not enough, and some are hidden,
Yeah.
and you have to go down the stairs, and it's complicated.
So, yeah, I think there's all kinds of ways and means and uses for iBeacon for Apple. I'm going to be very interested to see. Like I said, I've heard from some folks who know about this stuff, and they've given me some little birdie information that makes it even more interesting to me and more seeing the possibility. We won't see a lot of it roll. We won't see it on any kind of wide-scale development for Christmas this year, but Christmas next year, it's going to be huge. It's going to be massive for Christmas next year. You'll get flyers on the app, and the flyers will take you to the store, will give you directions to the store, and give you 10% discounts, and it's endless possibilities. It's going to be very, very interesting. Anything else?
I think we are done.
Remember, send those pictures. Please, dear God,
Yes,
send pictures.
please, at least one.
At least go to your local Apple store. If you don't have an iPhone 5, no, because the cases are for the iPhone 5.
Yeah,
Never
just
mind.
iPhone 5, yeah.
iPhone 5 and 5S. But yeah, send us pictures,
But even
please.
if you still don't have an iPhone 5, you might have one in the future, so you can already receive the case.
Okay, so in that case, go to your Apple store. Take a picture of yourself holding the iPhone 5 with your iPhone 4S, because you're a loser. Do that. Send me the picture. Contest at yourmaclifeshow.com. Please make the little Italian girl happy.
Please send me a picture.
See, I don't care if you do or don't. It doesn't matter to me. But for God's sake, it matters so much. This is her first contest. That's the problem. It's not like, I've been doing this for 18 years and I don't care anymore. She cares so deeply.
I do.
She really, really does. She cares so much. Way too much. We can't wait till a few years from now and she's all jaded like Sly. All jaded and grumpy like Sly.
I will always like to give presents, so this will be always.
You got to stop calling presents. You got to stop calling presents. You're killing me with the presents thing. Just killing me. Folks, that's it for Your Mac Life. I want to say thanks very much to our good friend Jim Dalrymple from The Loop at loopinsight.com. Thanks to the folks at Docum.com for sending us the iProp. Whether I like it or not, I still appreciate them sending it to me. And we said we're going to have a further test of this when we come back from Italy.
Absolutely,
She'll
yes.
let us know. I don't think she's even going to take it with us. I think this thing will be left behind because there'll be too much stuff packed in her luggage.
No, I will not forget
Okay,
it.
all right. We'll see. We'll see if it even makes it back from Italy. That'll be the test, whether we leave it in Italy with her dad going, Dad, yeah, this is a Canadian beaver pelt. Here, take this. I don't know. Also, thanks to Jim Dalrymple from The Loop at loopinsight.com and the folks at hardcandycases.com for giving us hard candy slider cases to give away. You have anything else to say?
Just ciao a tutti, buonanotte.
Ciao, goodbye, tutti, tonight. Buonanotte.
Buonanotte means good
night.
night.
What does tutti mean? Ciao, tutti.
Tutti means everybody.
Oh, ciao, tutti. So ciao, tutti, buonanotte.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Was it?
Great
Really?
accent. Yeah.
Folks, as always, I've been Shawn King,
And this was Alessandra.
and you've been listening to Your Mac Life. Thanks, folks. See ya.
Ciao.